safety car has gone, and we are ready to go here in Birmingham, Alabama, the Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. Let's see what this opening green lap really looks like.
Tremendous amount of spray. You see the guys in the back, like Dixon, back way off. Gave himself some room as he goes side by side with Ray in turn 1, but I think they're all going to get through here clean. Nice, clean first corner, and let's go racing.
Sebastian Bourdais already starting to look at Will Power. Here comes Alexander Rossi, Marco Andretti, James Hinchcliffe, Simon Pagenaud, Zach Veach, Graham Rahal taking the wide line.
And looking further back, I saw Robert Wickens taking the high line, rim shot around the outside. When there's this much water on the track, oftentimes there's Wickens in the red and black car. Oftentimes offline is the best grip. 3 wide now in turn 5.
Jordan King going really, really wide in 5. Of course, the British driver is very much used to these kind of conditions. We'll see if he can revel this afternoon.
Everybody looking for a clear spot, clear vision. You see them all fan out on the straightaway. They're all looking for a space to run and not be in the spray. Varying lines. Everybody's got a different angle of attack in the corner, outside, inside. Cayman DeMello there with Max Chilton. And you see that spray on the straightaway. It's difficult to see, but the longer we go here, we get a few laps, and this water's going to disperse, and it'll start to form a little bit of a line as long as the rain doesn't get too heavy.
Remarkable patience from the entire field to wait for the water to get out of the way and for the tire temperature to build. But now
look at Marco. Marco
Andretti
making
on
a
his
move
teammate.
on his teammate. He's got the preferred line on the outside now, but look at that.
I like it when you hear Marco Andretti talk with enthusiasm and optimism, and he said it straight after qualifying yesterday. Hey, this is a good qualifying. I feel I can win the race from here. This is the view from Alexander Rossi's car.
Marco looking on the outside. He's going to try to do an over-under here as we come around this corner and up over the hill. Try to get a run. A little bit of a lift from Rossi.
And you can hear just how much the drivers have to respect the throttle. Rossi barely getting to full throttle at any point there.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go, on the power, sideways. So you can see how hard it is to put the power down. These guys, they're the best drivers in the world, and today they're going to have to show it and earn their money in these kind of conditions.
Look how Josef Newgarden has left his teammate Will Power behind, though. Newgarden's bolted, and now Sebastian Bourdais in that bright yellow Sealmaster car for Dale Coyne Racing with Vassar and Sullivan. He is now starting to press, and this is Andretti has gone. Marco has spun.
Definitely was putting pressure on his teammate, looking for a way around. He probably found a bad spot, and look at, he's stuck there in the grass and got going, but it cost him a lot of positions.
That was down in the museum corner, which is the lowest elevation here at Barber. So all this water tends to flow down to that area. There were some puddles at the start, but up front, Newgarden has the benefit of perfect visibility.
Newgarden had a lot of time as a junior in Europe, raced in Europe a lot before he came back to the States and made his IndyCar home here. But so he must have some rain experience racing in the junior formula in Europe.
He did really well in GP3. Had his eyes set on Formula One before returning to the US, like Paul said. So it's Newgarden with a 4-second lead over Will Power, then Sebastian Bourdais. We're riding with Zach Veach at the moment. Veach is back in 10th. He's starting to try and work on Simon Pagenaud in that bright yellow Menards Penske Chevrolet. If you can see that it's bright yellow from here.
Yeah, the physicality. He's the smallest driver in the field. So this place in the dry conditions, Townsend, is probably the most physical of racetracks we go to all year. You see the tracks now starting to get laid down, but in this type of condition, it's not a physical type race. It's all mental and just being tidy and consistent and not too heavy on the throttle pedal.
Pretty tough for Graham Rahal on visibility behind DeMello, but now he's got just a little bit of gap in front, so he should make quick work on closing that gap now that he can see where he's going, Marty.
And Townsend, that's a very good point. He started 15th, fell back immediately to 17th, and now has gotten his way back up to 15th. But you can see we have a helmet cam with Graham Rahal, and you can see how tough that visibility is. He said, literally, I can see nothing. And now, as you mentioned, Paul, it's cleaned up a little bit on the racetrack, but it's still very tough inside that car as a driver. You can see the visibility, and he's got some room between him and the 14th place car, Townsend.
Yep, and now he's going to just take advantage of the, I wouldn't call it a dry line, but at least a less wet line that's forming as this file of cars is pretty well spread out around the track. Unfortunately for Graham Rahal, as you see the Firestone telemetry at the bottom of the screen, how much slower you have to go when you can't see, Paul, when you're in the roost, if you will, of the car in front, and his lap time is about 3 seconds slower than what Newgarden's experiencing up front. So that gap is growing rapidly between the mid-packers and the leader.
What's happened to Charlie Kimball here?
His
in
car's
the
dirty.
Receiver Carlin entry. So something happened, turn 17.
See a lot of mud on the top of the side pod, so he's been off somewhere. Graham Rahal, yeah,
broken front wing.
But your call.
Yeah, he's got a broken front wing. You could probably run on that because you're not going super fast. It just depends if it's rubbing on the tire or not.
Well, guys, when Charlie Kimball went off, we just missed that radio transmission where he thinks his front tie rods are broken, so he's going to be coming in, and we're getting ready to see a replay of exactly what happened here.
It's turn 16, final corner. Not sure if he had help from behind or if he just lost it on the throttle, but pretty big fence or wall Armco impact to the front end of that Carlin car of Charlie Kimball.
Looks like he might stop on track. Yeah, he's got an anti-stall, so the motor is stalled. And this will bring out a full course caution and group everybody up again. That big lead that Newgarden had is now going to evaporate. And yellows breed yellows. Guys are getting racy in the back.
They were fighting over some real estate. It's the Penske boys up front. Josef Newgarden, who has led every lap so far, gets loose, really loose.
That puddle, there's a puddle on the exit. He got sideways. Whoa!
There goes Power. Will Power slams the wall.
Another bad race for Will Power. That's 3 races this year. He's run into trouble. Hopefully we can get an inboard on that, but it looks like he just lost it all on his own, unless he got hit from behind.
I don't think so. I think there was so much water that accumulated under yellow. That's the problem with the yellow flag laps, is all of the water clearing that's taken place under green is eliminated, and everything, the rain is coming down pretty hard right now. Everything flows back, and like you said, Lee, Newgarden just absolutely almost lost it as well. Look at these guys racing with the caution out.
Takuma Sato and Robert Wickens. So, yeah, it was a wonderful save from Josef Newgarden, and unfortunately, it all went wrong for Will Power.
Scott Dixon has a problem. We've talked about visibility all day long, right? They are going to put a new helmet on Scott Dixon. I believe a red flag is going to come out, though, but Scott Dixon saying, I have 0 visibility inside the car. You see that new helmet being prepared for Scott Dixon. They have put some Rain-X on that helmet. They have actually removed what they would normally have for tear-offs, as you see that red flag come out right now, but he won't be able to do that during the red flag. So when they do go back to caution, if we do go back to caution, Scott Dixon will need a new helmet. But Townsend, that's tough, isn't it? Because sometimes if you have tear-offs on your helmet, the moisture will actually get behind that visor and behind those tear-offs, and it creates an even bigger problem. Powers made his way back to his timing stand. What happened on your incident, Will?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I couldn't see a thing, and I had 1 car in front of me, so, and I was just aquaplaning. I had no control, spun. Yeah, I just can't believe they went green on that, how bad it was with the amount of standing water. So, yeah, very, very disappointing, but to me, very dangerous.
Did you as drivers make your voice heard and say, hey, we shouldn't be going green here? Did you tell your timing stand that?
I can't remember. I don't know. We were talking about it, but yeah, my spotter said it was getting pretty bad. I mean, you could see it was getting really bad. I mean, I just kept saying to Roger, I can't see a thing in front of me like the lap before. I can't even see my hand in front of my face.
Are the puddles everywhere, Will, or just where you guys were restarting right there?
It's just various spots. Probably in the worst spots. Always seem to be sitting in the most high-speed areas. I mean, on the back straight there as well. So, yeah, it's just, man, it's the last thing we needed. Yeah, very disappointing, and kind of disappointed that we went green.
Now, thanks for staying with us. Thank you for being very patient. We do have some news for you, and that is we will see you tomorrow to finish this off. Josef Newgarden will rule the rules here, and he goes. Turn 17, the Team Penske car goes, and in dry conditions, it is time to bring the action. Let's go racing on a Monday. Good, clean through turn 1, turn 2.
Yesterday, Josef Newgarden had the advantage of clear visibility as we see Scott Dixon trying to make a move around the outside of Jordan King. Scott Dixon now falling back. Here comes his teammate Ed Jones with the run.
Hitch looking down the inside. Gabby Chavez laps down there, but it's Zach Beach on the outside trying to make some moves and hang with Hinch.
Zach Veach clears Gabby Chavez. Robert Wickens in that red and yellow car. There it is there, the Lucas Oil Honda. He's ready to pounce. He's ready to make a move. Spoke to Takuma Sato last night after the postponement. He loved yesterday in the wet. There he is there in the white, blue and black MyJack car. He's feeling racy here at Barber as we switch to his teammate Graham Rahal.
Graham Rahal out the back is Zach Clayman DeMello, who's 2 laps down, so doing everything that he can to try to make up lost ground, and he's going to try to stuff it up the inside.
That's the old Newgarden move right there. He almost pulled that off, so he's racy. Probably a little bit upset that he got a 2-lap penalty yesterday, but he's running it hard.
He's a Canadian teenager with a little bit of attitude. We haven't seen that before, have we? How about that? Zach Clayman DeMello, the IndyCar rookie, not racing like one.
Look at Pagenaud. Pagenaud just got... Rahal got upset by Clayman DeMello, and that allowed Pagenaud to slip through on the inside.
That's what Simon needed. Inside move. Look at DeMello again. Oh, he almost collected Spencer Pigot.
That was very close.
A little wide for Pagenaud. Graham Rahal's got to run. We saw these two a couple years ago. This same move, they came together, but Rahal backs out.
What do you think, Marty?
Pagenaud moving smartly, and PT, you were right at the beginning of broadcast. They are starting on the primary black sticker tires. They have 2 sets of sticker red tires here in the pits sitting that they can put on for the rest of the race. So you heard Simon say, we're going to play a little tire strategy today. That's the tire strategy. They think they'll have a massive advantage over everybody else, but certainly fun to watch them come up through the field as we have a battle further up front, Lee.
See Graham Rahal furiously reaching for the right front bar. That's the front Andy roll bar, trying to soften it up. So Graham Rahal with a lot of understeer early on.
Tell you what, rain or dry, Newgarden is checked out again. Yesterday in the rain, he left everybody. Look at the lead he's got already after 2 laps.
2.5 seconds to be precise. Josef Newgarden over Sebastian Bourdais. You're looking at the DHL Andretti Autosport Honda of Ryan Hunter-Ray. Then back to Alexander Rossi, the championship points leader coming into this 4th round.
Up front there, Sebastian Bourdais running in second and trying to hold off Ryan Hunter-Ray is the only one in the top 3 that started on scuffed reds, the softer compound, and he was a little bit worried about being exposed, but that does leave him as one of the few with the set of stickers in the back pocket. But Dale Coyne told me, we're not sure what the strategy is going to be. We're not sure if you do 1 stop, if the reds, you're going to want them to last an entire 1. We've got problems on track, Lee.
Spencer Pigot is in trouble. Now he finally gets the fuzzy Chevrolet going. What happened there?
He's definitely off. Tires all dirty and muddy, so he was definitely off the racetrack somewhere.
He turned that Firestone black into a Firestone yellow. Let's see what happened.
Oh, he got ran off.
I don't know.
No.
That's DeMello, who was very racy just a lap earlier with Rahal. Here comes Pigot up the inside.
Oh, jeez, look at that. DeMello just keeps going. Wow, what a move.
That was pretty sweet. Nice slide. DeMello continues. There goes Pigot. So far, it looks like both cars will be able to continue without pitting.
Like a scene out of the Fast and the Furious movie. Tokyo Drift.
Rail slide.
He might be from Montreal, but that was Paul Tracy-esque.
That was pretty cool.
That's how it looked from Graham Rahal's view.
I'm not sure what happened in the previous corner between Pigot and DeMello, but Pigot really wanted to force it up there with authority. I'm not sure that was on.
Well, do you remember a lap or 2 ago, DeMello tried to get him on the inside at turn 5, and I think Spencer may have taken exception to that.
Well, they're back on the move and back up to speed again, but that was exciting action. But up front, right now, Newgarden is running a second a lap quicker than everybody in the field.
And that's what 3.6 seconds looks like, first to second.
Hey, Robin, you see some of the leaders coming down pit road. Originally, Alexander Rossi was going to try and make it on 1 stop. They bailed on that, but Josef Newgarden, the leader, coming down pit road right now. He said these tires are absolutely gone on this car. Way too much oversteer for him. You're going to see a wing adjustment here, and they're going to go with sticker primary tires for Josef Newgarden coming down pit road and going back out on the racetrack. Alexander Rossi now coming down pit road, sort of bailing on what they were trying to make a 1-stop strategy, now going with 2. He, too, saying his car, way too much oversteer, and that the tires are gone as well as we ride down pit road with a 27 car. So Townsend, a lot of shuffling of strategy going on down here on pit road.
Yeah, and some mud on Rossi's left front, so I wonder if he got off track coming to pit lane. You can see it there, fresh Firestone reds going on. I think barring yellow, I think we might have to see everybody stop one more time for a splash to get to the end.
40 minutes too long? 40 minutes too long, you think, yeah?
Let's see if Rossi did in fact go off. The tire's clean here. No, he didn't go off. He went off. Well, he did just drop a wheel intentionally to shorten the track ever so slightly. That's what you do. If you're going to win an IndyCar championship or a race here at Barber, you have to find every advantage.
Well, and let that story circle all the way back to Will Power. Championships have been won on a countback. Championships have been won by 1 point. Will Power is out on track circulating, and he's in 21st position. That's not last, so he will get some points. Kevin?
So Sebastian Bourdais out in front now since return from Formula One. He has won as many races as the entire field except the 3 Penske's and also Scott Dixon. So he has been on a roll the last few years. Now, Dale Coyne had said before the race, we're likely to do, as we watch Simon Pagenaud pitting, likely to do what the leaders do, but trying to stretch and maybe still do it on 1, Marty.
Pagenaud going with a 2-stop strategy. He went from 14th to 8th on that run. And as we told you, they have 2 sets of sticker red tires. That's what they're going to go with here. He also wants a wing adjustment, so the car had too much oversteer as well. And a lot of the teams here on pit road talking about the rain getting closer. This is going to get interesting if it comes out in the middle of this pit stop cycle, guys.
Well, we know now that Bourdais was saving fuel and Newgarden was going flat out on a 2-stop strategy. So now the trick for Bourdais is, can he make these tires last? Because the other guys were having tires go away. Can he make these tires last and maintain good pace and hopefully get another win under his belt this year?
Let's take a ride with Josef Newgarden. James Hinchcliffe, pardon me, as he chases down Ryan Hunter-Reay.
So as we watch James Hinchcliffe, who was, by the way, told to turn it up just a moment ago. That's when he got Rossi, and they told him go get Hunter-Reay. His teammate Robert Wickens on the right side of the screen. He's in. So maybe Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports splitting strategies. Unless there's a lot of yellow, Wickens, who was running 4th, is going to need to stop one more time. Hinchcliffe may still be trying to do it on 1, but he's been using up some fuel lately.
There is a massive gap to this guy. Josef Newgarden, the race leader, boasts a 24-second lead over second place Sebastian Bourdais, but a nearly 40-second lead back to Dixon.
And the raindrops are starting to fall here in Barber. The question is, can a Newgarden or anybody, frankly, on slicks hang on to the car with this amount of moisture? This is high risk, high anxiety for any driver. Paul, look at that, starting to snap on him.
Yeah, and that lead is now starting to evaporate. Bourdais, he was up to 27 seconds as we look at Dixon and Wickens, but now Bourdais has clawed it back to 23 seconds, and he's pulled well away from Hunter-Reay. He's almost 8 seconds ahead of Hunter-Reay.
Who's going to be the first to come to pit lane to take rain tires? That's the question. It's a huge gamble, but it could pay off.
And as a driver, when do you make that decision? Just too many snaps?
Well, you have to think about, if I go too early, I'll burn up the rain tires on a track that's too dry.
And your pace isn't there. You go out too early,
but the flip,
you go so slow on rains when it's not totally wet.
There you hear Tim Cindric.
For rains. This is big risk, big risk.
And you heard the call there from Tim Cindric saying pit this lap for rains. And Newgarden has said a couple of times it's raining, and then the last communication was it's legit raining. And I can tell you pit road is getting damp here, so they're going to go to rain tires here for Josef Newgarden. As you said, Paul, big risk, but it could pay off big for Josef Newgarden, who's been the dominant car here at Barber today. Kevin?
Marty, I think Newgarden is in the driver's seat right now. Sebastian Bourdais assumes the lead, but they were really hoping that they wouldn't need to pit for rain tires because they were good to go the rest of the way. They had already told him to turn it up, go as hard as you can in the conditions. For now, Bourdais staying out. They're hoping somehow the rain dissipates, but obviously they have to pit. Then Newgarden is back in control.
And for Scott Dixon, I think it's a huge advantage because rain tires are not fast when it's this dry. And this one lap for Scott Dixon could really help him close the gap on Newgarden.
The rain continues.
Oh, there he goes.
This is the right call, but the question mark is, will he burn those tires up in 2 or 3 laps?
And And Pagenaud had made the call that he wanted to come actually a couple of laps ago. They finally come down pit road. They would have been the first one on the rain tires. And Scott Dixon, we've been talking about him all day long, a little bit longer on that stop for the 22. They are now talking about rain tires. Dixon saying it's getting worse out here. So the team that was trying to do it on one stop, maybe considering coming down and getting rain tires here.
Yeah, and every one stopper, that strategy's been eliminated. So all the benefit is gone. So for Scott Dixon, it just hasn't played out. He's going to have to do it on wet weather pace.
Right now, we got to see Bourdais has an 11-second lead over Newgarden, and can he tiptoe this thing around for the next however many minutes? How many minutes do we have to go?
Just
12
under 13.
minutes. Can he tiptoe this thing around and maintain that gap? Right now, he's got a lap time. It dropped way off. It went down to 117.
Drive behind you, inside.
So right now, looks slicks are still faster than wets.
Yep. And remember, Dale Coyne has a history of winning rain-affected races through good strategy. Remember Carlos Huertas in Houston several years ago?
Can these guys keep it on track and not fall off the island on slicks? Dixon and Bourdais are the only guys now that are still out there on slicks.
And I can tell you folks, just looking at our commentary booth window, it is pouring.
Well, there's a whole bunch of cars that are going to try to nurse it to pit lane. They still have slicks, Paul, Rossi, Andretti, Piggott, Hunter Ray, Rahal we saw just pitted.
Here's the thing, if they catch a yellow, somebody spins out, goes in the gravel, we've only got a few minutes to go, and then you're running around under yellow trying to get it back going. Bourdais could win this race if somebody spins and it goes yellow.
You're right.
Another lap of rain like that, and I'm off.
There's your answer.
It's your call. Tell us what you are
There
doing.
we go. We got a guy off the track. Don't get stuck.
Rossi's got slicks on. There's his teammate, Hunter Ray. That was close. So Bourdais is telling him, guys, this is ridiculous. I can barely hang on. But Craig Hampson knows if they pit Bourdais,
It's
they're
over.
out.
You have a 13-second lead. There is just over 8 minutes left.
You are watching one of the most controlled, disciplined drives from Sebastian Bourdais, a four-time IndyCar champion. Scott Dixon says, I've had enough.
He gave up.
This is a game of chicken at this point. Who can hang on?
Well, you won't find anybody that's smoother on the throttle and more controlled as a driver as Bourdais. Bourdais looks like he's going to stay out again.
Coming.
Oh, he's coming.
He says, I'm coming. 8 minutes
Do
remaining.
you want to add front wing?
And that 13-second lead is down to 9 now between Bourdais and Newgarden. Scott Dixon serviced and sent.
You can see how slow he's going now. He's really had to back the pace up now. It's just so wet. Rooster tails now coming off the back of the cars, and Newgarden is on the move. The first on rains, he's conserved them. He was losing time, but now they are in and they're warm, and you just can't hang on anymore when the track is completely wet.
I don't know. Newgarden's not going that fast, Paul. Bourdais sort of hanging in here, but he just knows he can't take the risk.
He's coming.
As much front wing as we can get.
What a shame. What a shame for the Sealmaster team.
See where he cycles out. Hunter Ray has already come in. Newgarden back to the front. So Hinchcliffe, Wickens have already done their reins. And Hunter Ray, we'll see where he can come out and see if he can maintain, Kevin, his second place position.
They're going to add front wing, no fuel, so we'll see how quick the Dale Coyne Racing, Vassar Sullivan pit crew is. Just a tire change. There's the big turns of front wing. Bourdais' chance to win is probably gone, but still a good chance of a result if everyone can stay on track. You never know.
Hunter Ray goes by.
Still could be a top 5 finish.
Hinchcliffe's going by in turn 1 now. He comes out of the pitch. Hinchcliffe whistles by, but Wickens is right there, right at the exit.
Here's Dixon and Rahal. This is further back for 6th and 7th. And yet again, Graham Rahal is just 6.5 minutes away from producing another solid result to keep himself in 4th in the championship, riding with Josef Newgarden.
Wickens has just gotten by Bourdais. He's on hot rain tires. Bourdais still getting up to temperature. Now Dixon will be the next car behind Bourdais, but he's...
Oh!
Spencer Piggott.
Almost a yellow. But Piggott might be able to continue. He refires the car. It stalled. He dumped the clutch, jump-started it, and the Fuzzy's car is back underway. Now he's just trying to make sure he doesn't get clobbered from behind.
2 to go is the call.
And as they run right now, Newgarden would snatch the championship points lead back from Alexander Rossi by 13 points, but it's not over yet. Here's Jordan King going off.
It's going to be
Looks like he'll be able to rejoin.
Turn 5, got wide, went out in the gravel.
Townsend, what was your best track? Come on, quick answer.
Mid-Ohio.
PT?
Long Beach.
Long Beach. This is Josef Newgarden's best track. Headed to be the first 3-time winner in IndyCar Series history on this beautiful road course at Barber Motorsports Park. He's 1.5 laps away from victory, and what a weekend it has been. He won the Verizon P1 award 2 days ago in qualifying. He led every lap yesterday in the wet, which there weren't many, and he's led 71 laps in total in this Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama.
Your old school teacher coming out there. Come on, quick answer. You started out teaching English, right?
No, PE.
PE, excuse me, PE.
I wasn't a real teacher.
That was most definitely your old PE teacher coming out.
Yeah, yes or no answer. Let's move it along.
Nice and easy this lap.
Final lap coming up.
Down to 12 seconds from 20, so he's really back to pace down. 23s, 1 minute 23s. The other guys, Hunter Ray, Hinchcliffe, are running 21, so he's really listened to Cindric and slowed this thing down and going to bring it home.
You know, we mentioned, I think it was yesterday, Paul, and even in qualifying, we said to young drivers, to go-karters, if you're aspiring to do something or be like someone, this guy is your perfect model, because he's got it all. He's got the charisma, he's got the speech, he's got the presentation, he's got the driving acumen. He's got it all, but it's been a long road, and he needs to thank Ed Carpenter, Sarah Fisher, Wink Hartman, everybody all the way along. I spoke to Ed Carpenter about it a couple of days ago, and he said, we've got a real sense of gratification and accomplishment in being able to nurture Josef. And he said he remembers the day they went out to lunch, and Josef said, I'm moving on. I've got an opportunity to go to Team Penske. And as a driver and as a team boss, Ed Carpenter said to him, if I was in your shoes, I would do exactly the same. There's no hard feelings. And you're watching somebody who is very special. Josef Newgarden feels at home because his real home in Tennessee is not far away. And Josef Newgarden wins the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama to just put a stamp on it and own this place. Dixon's not done with Bourdais yet.
Dixon is all over the back to come to the last couple corners. Dixon slices down the inside. He's going to have the outside line for the next corner.
Bourdais will have the advantage, though, in the last corner. There could be contact.
Two 4-time champions.
Drag race.
Who's going to get it? To the line, it's going to be Bourdais.
Brilliant stuff.
How eventful did that rain make it at the end, Joseph?
More eventful than I would have liked, but you know, everyone did a great job. How about you know, Team Chevy today? They gave us a great engine and good fuel mileage, good reliability. That's what we needed to win this race. And you know, it's great having Hitachi. We had Verizon, we got them a victory, now we got Hitachi victory. So thank you guys. Everyone at Team Penske did a great job. But like you said, that was more eventful than I wanted it. I mean, it seemed like, you know, smooth sailing for the most part. We weren't having any yellows, which we were hoping no yellows today. But then that rain crept in, and I couldn't believe how long everyone stayed out. It was really risky what they were doing, but I understand why they were doing it, and I'm glad we made the call to come in so soon.
Well, how aware of you what Bourdais was trying to do out there on those slicks, because he had a fairly significant lead on you.
Yeah, I knew what he was doing. I mean, same thing with Hunter Ray. When he came up on me, I asked him, I said, is he still on slick tires? And at that point, you could still probably manage him, but man, it just kept getting worse and worse every lap, so more and more risky. The problem is we put the reins on a little bit earlier to protect, and I kind of fried the fronts because, you know, these things aren't designed to work in the dry. So in the dry, I kind of overcooked the front end. Then I had to deal with that when the rain actually came. So, you know, fortunately we had a big gap. That's really what I think helped us win the race, was just building that gap over the beginning part.
Third win in the last 4 Barber races. Would you be cool if they added like 4 or 5 races here a year?
Yeah, I like it here. You know, we could do the whole series at Barber. That'd be great. Thanks for, you know, some of the fans that came back. I understand most people can't make it, but they stuck it out yesterday. They were dealing with the wind and all the rain yesterday. They're just great fans. So thanks for coming out, everybody, and some of the people that came to watch this. And it's a good day for us at Team Penske.
Watch the IndyCar Grand Prix Saturday, May 12th at 3:30 p.m. on ABC.